get started. How did you two meet? Where did it all begin?
Well, it began on Friday night, it was February 15th, 1992, the day after Valentine's. I was downtown Toronto, literally in the middle of the street, going to go into one of my favorite bars, which was called Studebaker's. It's an old 50s bar. And about maybe 20 seconds prior to going in there, a couple more friends showed up and said, no, I don't want to go there. We want to go here. So I was very upset because I really don't want to go to this other bar. But then again, not knowing at the time that that's where my destiny was waiting for me. So here I was in the middle of the street with literally seconds. If I went into my Studebaker's, would I have ever met her? I don't know. But the universe said, no, you're not going to that bar. You got to go to this bar. So I walked in, not even 5 minutes. I was upset because I really didn't want to be there. And all of a sudden, within a few minutes, there she was, walked right across in front of me. So I started looking at her, and there's always pretty women everywhere, but I was very particular. So I looked at her, the way she carried herself, the way she walked across the room. And it didn't take me long, about 10, 15 minutes. I just turned to my friend. I said, you see that woman over there? He goes, yeah, she's my destiny. I got to go meet her. He goes, why? I go, that's the woman I'm going to marry. So
you did not say that. Wait, you did not say that.
Yes. So I walked over, introduced myself, and she had noticed that I'd been staring at her a little bit. She asked me to dance, and she was impressed because I grew up ballroom dancing, so that dancing came easy for me. And conversation lasted maybe a few minutes. She was there with her friend celebrating her birthday party, and she quickly said, oh, we got to go. We're going somewhere to eat. Yeah. And I asked her for her phone number, and she quickly gave it to me. But
well, no, I didn't actually. We should let.
I'm going to get to it.
Okay.
I asked for the phone number. She quickly gave it to me, but I knew that when she gave it to me so quickly, she wasn't giving me the real number. I just had this feeling. So I grabbed her by her wrist, and I looked her right in the eye. I said, listen, I'm a really nice guy. Why don't you really put down your real phone number so we can get to know each other? So she kind of hesitated, tilted her head, looked in my eyes, and hesitated, and then said, okay, and then she wrote it down. So 3 days later, after that, I finally contacted her on the phone. One of the first few questions I asked her was, what made you change your mind? And she said, well, when you told me you were a nice guy and I looked in your eyes, I could tell you didn't have those, excuse the expression, fuck me look eyes. Like most guys have in a bar. So
you can edit that out if you want.
You can edit that out if you want.
No, I love it. I love it.
So she knew, and then we started from there. We dated for about 3 weeks. And March 11th, I proposed 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
The following October, we got married.
Yeah. So let me give you a little bit of more background on exactly how it unfolded from my perspective. So yes, it was the day after Valentine's. And I had broken up an engagement. I had been engaged, and I broke up the engagement 6 months before the wedding. And I had given up on love, and I had said that I am not getting married, and I announced it to my entire family, and I was done with love, right? So there I am, the day after Valentine's, which I spent alone, and which you did too, right? With my girlfriend. It was her birthday, and well, the way it unfolded from my perspective is I see this guy just staring intently at me, like staring, okay? Not even that flirtatious, you know, when you're in the bar and a guy kind of looks at you and then you walk, you know, you look away, all these little teasers. No, he was full on with a drink in his hand staring at me. And I went to the bathroom and I come out of the bathroom and there he is, right? And I go up on the dance floor and there he is. And I'm walking over to say hi to a friend and there he is again, right? So unbeknownst to me, he had already turned to his friend Ed and had said, Ed, that is going to be my wife. And when he approached me, yeah, I'll dance. I love dancing. So we went up, we danced, and I was like, okay, I'm good. Plus, Vince and I are of Italian background, and Vince looked a bit scary that night. He looks a bit like Tony Soprano. He had a suit on. Like
black turtleneck.
Black turtleneck. So he looked very like, hey, right? So I was like, absolutely not. But the sincerity in his eyes when he said, just give me the correct number. Because I did have an alias when I went to the clubs.
Yeah, I think
My
every girl
alias
almost does.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was Lola, because I love the Kink song. So my name was Lola, right? And
She was a showgirl, and there forever.
so anyway, yeah, I did give him a fake number. I did. I was absolutely afraid of him, and I thought he was like gonna be like Tony Soprano. So, but the way he looked at me was such sincerity, because at that point, later on, he said to me he had already seen me walking down an aisle in a white dress.
Whoa,
Right?
whoa. I'm this
Also,
usually it's the girl that
Yeah.
I also came from a relationship for 10 years with a woman.
Yeah.
So I was single for about 3 years, and I wasn't really interested in, not that I'm interested in women, but I wasn't really looking to pursue. I just wanted to be left alone.
Mhm.
But when the man upstairs says, no, your destiny's waiting for you at this bar.
Yeah.
And there she was, and something just clicked in me and said, she's the one. And the best thing I tell people all the time when they ask me, what has it been like? I go, well, it's 28 years and it still feels like we're just dating. Doesn't feel like we're married 28 years.
It took us 10 years to call each other husband and wife.
Stop it. Oh my gosh.
It always felt like we were dating.
And of course, let's not forget all the friends and family and relatives that thought we were totally retarded.
Yeah.
I had a friend that went to a wedding just prior to meeting her.
Yeah.
And he had called me. He'd gone away to Hawaii for 3 weeks and said, oh, there was a lovely lady there that saw you ballroom dancing. She wants to meet you. And we'll talk about it when I get back. Well, in 3 weeks, I had met her and proposed in 3 weeks by the time we got back from his honeymoon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So obviously I didn't go meet the other girl because I had found the one I was looking for anyway.
But he was a little pissed off.
Yeah, my
He
friend
was he was trying to broker that like, you know.
Well, a lot of people are saying, how can you know? It's only been 3 weeks. I go, well, first of all, I'm not 17, 18, 19. I met her when I was 30. We were both 30 years old when we met. And something just chived that I just knew it. And then those short 3 weeks, it's like you hear on that you read in the paper or you read in a magazine. I would ask a question. She would answer before I finished. All those things were just gelling.
Yeah.
It was happening so fast. I said, well, why do I have to wait? I'm 30.
Yeah.
I love her. She loves me. I'm going to marry her. Okay, let's do it. I booked the hall, everything.
Yeah. Well, when he proposed, listen to this. So 3 weeks, whirlwind, like talking on the phone every night. And his friends kept like, you know, guys, right? Oh, don't call her as soon as you meet her. Oh, he called me like as soon as he got home. You know, I got home at about 4 in the morning because we went to eat with my friends first, right? There's this local place that, you know, it's open till late. I got home, there was already calls from him. He called me every day. We fell asleep on the phone. It was like crazy. And so what had happened is that he just knew he wanted to marry me. And he had asked me where my church was, the location of my church. He also actually asked my father ahead of time for my hand in marriage. Okay. He did it all so that when, 3 weeks after our first date, he goes, let's go check out your church. I want to see where you go worship.
Yeah,
right?
I wanted to go see where she worshiped. It was a Tuesday night. So we walk into the church. We go out to the side. She gets down on one knee and starts to.
You did.
No, you did first.
I did. Oh, yes. to pray, of course.
Pray. Meanwhile, it's a Tuesday night. There's the guy in the church vacuuming. I'm looking at him and go, can you cut the vacuum? Because you couldn't hear anything. He goes, oh, okay. At that time, she had finished praying. And then I knelt down and prayed. And then, of course, since I finished, she was standing up. I was already down on one knee right in front of God. And I explained to her how I felt and that he brought us together and why wait and let's do it. And she said yes. We drove back down the street to her parents. They were blown away. And then we drove to Mississauga and told my parents.
Yeah.
So you guys never met each other's parents.
Nope.
Well, he had met my dad.
I met the parents.
Because, well, I mean, like.
Oh, yeah. You go to Italian house the first time. The sister upstairs looking from the window. The mother looking from over here.
Well, on our first date, yes, of course. He came to pick me up. I lived at home because Italian Americans and Italian Canadians have a hard time letting their children move out before marriage, right? And so when he showed up, again, he looked like Tony Soprano, slick back hair, you know, the suit.
When I
the
had
black,
hair,
the black. Well, he doesn't have hair now, but my sisters, and knowing that I had left a very macho guy who was not going to be the nicest of husbands, that's why I left him. They said, they looked at him and they said, oh, here she goes again. Another macho type, right? What is she doing? But of course he came in, he met my parents, he met my sisters, right? And they were going to have a little talking to when I came home from that date. Well, I didn't come home till way later. We had a wonderful time. We went out for dinner. We didn't want the date to end. He kept asking me, what kind of house do you want when we get married? And I was like,
our first kiss was in the parking lot after the restaurant. It couldn't have been any better. It was February. The snow was falling lightly all over us. And that was our first kiss.
And it was, yeah. And so I took another week or two of convincing, right?
Yeah.
He was already married, you see.
That is so crazy. It's usually the other way around. The girl is like, okay, let's get married. And the guy is like, hold on a minute. Like,
well, 28 years later, I guess I was right, wasn't I?
Yeah. But I've got to tell you, we both were a little older, right? I mean, we're both in our 30.
30 when we met.
Right? And I was 30 and 11 months on the day I got married, by the way.
wow.
I said I would get married at 30 if I was to marry at all. And so I did it, a month shy of being 31. So, and we're 4 months apart. But he had actually gone to see. So when he orchestrated that whole thing at the church, when I said yes, he said, great, because we're getting married September 25th. I've already talked to your dad. He's given me the permission for your hand in marriage. I've already talked to the priest. So we got the hall booked too. Everything's booked. He did it all.
And you were okay with that? You were okay. You were.
Yeah. Well, I said, yeah. But he waited for me to say yes before he announced all this. Now,
okay.
At the same time, there were a lot of people in both of our social circles who thought we were both nuts. Yeah, he lost a couple of friends over this.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a little extreme, I would say.
Well, they didn't agree because they were like, well, you've been with your other girlfriend. Like, I mean, and these were so, because he was with his girl since high school, right?
Okay.
Same social circle. Everybody hung out for a good, 10 years?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Right? So his best friend bowed out of being the best man at our wedding. Yeah, there was a lot of people that had a problem with what we were doing, and they didn't think it was going to last.
Wow. And you really proved them wrong.
So 28 years later, I got to say, though, we didn't have kids right away because I don't even know you. Right? I don't even know you.
Well, you guys have fun together. You know, it's time for you guys to like really get to know each other and have fun as a couple, I would say, right?
Yeah, but we quickly, it's just, I don't know, I guess you've had other couples on your podcast that have talked about, you just know he's the one, or that they just knew she was the one. Have you had couples like that just like he knew right away?
Yeah, I have, which is pretty interesting. And it's, but yeah, and the guys, this is something I've kind of noticed is like the guys that knew right away, it was more of those couples that have really, really lasting relationships.
Well, yes.
Which is interesting instead of the girl.
Yeah.
And it's,
I was going to say, you know how many nights I think about that night? Literally, I would say within 20, 30 seconds, if those two other buddies of mine did show up, I would have gone into the other club.
Yeah.
That's, just thinking, standing literally in the middle of the street downtown, I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
And I think back, wow, how my life has changed because those two buddies showed up and we went this way. We went left instead of right.
Yeah.
So do I believe in the universe guiding you? 100%. The universe guided me there that night for a reason. My friends showed up just in the nick of the time for a reason. And here's the reason. 28 years later, we belong together.
Yeah, and you did tell me that at the end of the night, and by the way, none of my girlfriends knew I'd met a guy.
Yeah.
When did they find out?
No, he didn't approach me till almost the end.
Yeah, at the end. We talked for like maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Like we had one dance.
Yep.
He said, can I have your number? I want to take you out. The meeting actually was him staring at me for a good hour and a half, right?
And you weren't creeped out? You weren't a little creeped out?
I was. I thought it was Tony Soprano, or like thinking about how to off me or something, right? So, or how to kidnap me.
Were you
know, and-
attracted to him though? Like, did you like?
Remember, I had a broken engagement.
Yeah.
I did not want to get married. I was there with my girlfriend celebrating her birthday with a bunch of girls and guys that we all knew.
Mhm.
So was I attracted? I wasn't in a space to think about that because the
Okay.
engagement I had broken up only a few months before.
6 months,
Okay.
yeah.
So no, I mean, I thought he was cute, but I was like, no, right? Absolutely not. So my girlfriend, so my side of things, when I was leaving, and unbeknownst to my girlfriends, because they were like, when I said I was going on a date with the guy I met at my friend's birthday, they were like, what guy? What? What guy? Right? No one knew. It happened so quick. But he had studied me. He had stared at me for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. He only approached me 15 minutes before last call. Right? We had a dance. He said, give me your number. I gave him a fake one. He said, no, give me your real number. I'm a nice guy. I just want to take you out. Give me a chance. And that spoke to me when he said, just give me a chance, right? How many guys would, you know, and so that's when I said, okay, I'll give him my real number, right? And then I went off to celebrate with my girlfriends. After the club closed at 2 a.m., we went to this Greek place that serves, you know, food till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Mhm.
So I was off. So that's why nobody knew what had happened. Nobody understood.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Right?
the only downfall from all this was
Yeah.
that the best part of a relationship is the courtship, the beginning.
Yeah.
And for us, it was only 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I
You know
guess
what
you
I
guys are. Yeah, no wonder your honeymoon stage lasted so long because you
Well,
were
that's
kind of-
why we couldn't get over. It took me years to say my husband. It really,
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah, it was weird to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my wife. Oh, my wife. I am married.
Oh, yeah?
I'm married.
It took us a good 10 years to get over that.
Yeah.
And you know what's really funny? Listen, I got to tell you, his love for me
Mm.
is on display the whole 28 years. Anybody who spends time with us, when we moved into the neighborhood, all the, you hang out with your neighbors, you start, come over to our place for a drink. All the guys are like, Vince, you're making us look bad. Like, stop looking at her like that,
Yeah.
Even when we're at his side of the family, his sister will turn and say, you look at her like you've never seen her. They catch him just staring at me, and it's like, you look at her and you act like like she's your world. That has never changed in 28 years.
People ask me all the time. They go, they say, oh, how do you know it's true love? I said, when you love someone as much as I do, and that other person loves you just the same back,
Yeah.
then you know you found it. And that's the key. In most relationships today, it's always one likes more than the other, especially boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mhm.
But to find a true love that I can let down my guard and my emotions and feel exactly how I want to feel and love my wife as much as I want, and to feel that love coming back is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And that's why that equals 28 years and counting.
And I know that many people, I know that like his ex-girlfriend, because they were high school sweethearts, and so they would break up, get back together. I think that the understanding was eventually they'd get back together. And, you got to understand, and I felt for her because she's sort of like on a break.
Yeah.
And then here's to the grapevine that, what? She's
Yeah, like
engaged.
all of a sudden,
Engaged to
yeah.
who? Yeah, engaged to who? What? What's going on, right?
Oh, she was on a break. I wasn't.
Well, yeah, she was on a break, you weren't. But and so that was a hard thing for her, I think, to understand as well, that he had moved on because they used to break, high school sweethearts back and forth. And so I felt compassion towards her for that. The funny thing is, Ariel, is that we've never had jealousy, ever.
None.
And I have gone out dancing with my girlfriends. I still party.
Speaking about that, I did have a discussion about that with her at the beginning.
Yeah.
I always said, listen, yes, you can fall in love. Yes, you can fall out of love. But do me the common courtesy that if you do fall out of love, you have the respect to tell me and then move on. Don't go cheating on me like all these schmucks out there because they're unhappy or they're depressed. No, we can't be in love the way we are now, and then something goes wrong down the road and you end up cheating on me. No, that's total. That means that everything we had prior to that didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Well, I
totally
mean,
get that.
we've gone through, he's had friends who got divorced.
Oh,
And
well,
so he's gone out to the clubs with them, trying to help them find another, you know,
Yeah.
wife, whatever. When his sister got divorced, I was her dancing buddy. Oh, go out with my sister and
yeah, and the ones that are married get hit on all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they get hit on more than the ones that are
They
single.
They
Yeah.
don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care. You got a ring.
And his sister used to laugh because after a night out on a Friday night, you know, crawling home to my husband at like 2, 3 in the morning, he would call his sister the next day and he'd say, "So tell me, everybody hit on my wife, right? Because she's so beautiful." Like, no
Aw.
jealousy of like, who did she talk to? It was more about, and she'd say, "Vince, I'm the single one. You should be asking if someone hit on your sister, not your wife." Right? So there's never the trust that we have in each other
Yeah.
hasn't wavered. It
Trust
has
and
not
like
wavered.
appreciation for each other too. That you appreciate each other, that you respect each other.
Yeah, I guess, look, he's a one-woman guy. I felt that from the minute we got together, right? I would go into work, like, and this is in the first 3 weeks. You got to understand the power of love.
Like at
Okay.
20 messages by the time she got
Yeah.
to work.
I get to work, and the secretary there would say, "Here's all your messages. Tell them to stop calling." And
Oh
this is
my
by
God.
9 o'clock. Like, he'd started calling the receptionist at 7:30 in the morning. Tell her I love her. 5 minutes later, tell her I can't wait to talk to her. Isn't she in the office yet? Oh my goodness, maybe she's stuck on the subway. Wonder where she is. Tell her I give her all my love. I'd get
Oh my
a stack. And then he would sometimes get off work early, and so he'd go over to my home before I got home, because I take the subway from downtown Toronto. And my mother says he would sit there looking at the clock saying, and he was already calling my mother Mom, right? "Mom, she's going to walk through the door in half an hour. Mom, 15 minutes. She's not here yet. Oh, the bus must be late."
It is funny because
Everybody.
it's before cell phones, really. I
Yes,
mean,
so everybody in our circle could see
Yeah.
how much love he had for someone we didn't even really know each other. Yet, what was unwavering was, here, let me just get you in here. I don't know, it was like this, we just understood each other. You know, when you're teenagers and you talk all night?
Yeah.
That was it. And, oh, by the way, my sister's judgment of him from that first date where they saw Tony Soprano swagger up, you know, with his gold chain and his pinky ring, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And his mustache. And Vince went prematurely gray. At 30, he was completely gray with a
Okay.
little bit of black. So he did look a bit like,
It's called salt and pepper look.
yeah, the salt and pepper look. Not so much Tony Soprano. Who's the other guy that has that salt and pepper look? He's so,
Okay, let's not
anyway,
talk about that.
so their judgment of him, thinking that he was such this macho guy, whatever.
Yeah.
As soon as he started coming around my house and just the way he was, like, "I can't wait to see her. Oh, Mom, I can't wait till she walks through the door."
Well,
Yeah.
there's that old saying, you know, people
Yeah.
go, "Oh, look at him, look at the way he looks." Well,
Yeah.
don't they always say, "Don't judge a book by its cover"?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So,
she opened up the book and found something totally different in it.
yeah.
Very,
my
very
sisters-
true.
My sisters could, like, as soon as he started coming, I mean, he was there all the time. We couldn't get him out of the house, right?
Well, when you first meet someone,
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't wait to finish work and go see her.
Yeah.
I didn't care about anything. Fucking go through red lights, you know, just to get there, right? And then
Well,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
as soon as you
It's
see her
hanging-
face,
It's hanging out with your best friend and you're just so
Yeah.
excited to hang out with them and, you know, you have fun with them.
Well, at that time, I mean, since then he's been a car manager for you know, automotive industry. But at that time, he was a sales guy, and his manager told us he didn't sell a car for 3 months. And all they
Oh,
found on his desk was my name with his last name. He
Oh.
kept writing my name over and over
well, it's
again.
double L now,
right?
So,
Yeah, that's all he did. For 3 months, they said he didn't sell one car except to my dad. Yeah, he sold
yeah,
the
so
car.
you want
He
to your
sold the-
father.
That's when he actually asked my father for my hand in marriage, because at the exact time that we met, within that 3 weeks, my dad was looking for a new car.
Pretty good salesman, eh?
Yeah.
Sold the father a car.
You get a car and a girl. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So within that 3 weeks, having told my dad that the guy I was seeing was, in the automotive industry, and my dad was looking for a car. That's when Vince took the opportunity to actually ask my father for my hand in marriage within like 2 weeks, whatever.
Yeah, that was funny, gassing up his car, doing his delivery. He's excited about his new car. I go, oh, by the way, I like to ask him, and he's like, what? How do you turn the radio on?
Yeah,
That was
so
fun.
it was quite the journey. He lost more friends than I, because, he was in a 10, 11-year relationship. And there were a number of people around us that just couldn't get over the fact that he, had moved on so quickly.
Yeah.
So you also lost a friend who was female. And when I met her, I said, Vince, she really, I think she digs you. Like, she's in love with you.
Wow.
And did you never realize that she liked you? And he's like, not really, right? No, she's just my friend. And I'm like, no, because he was so excited to have his best friend meet me, the girl.
Yeah.
And I remember he was playing hockey, scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
So he kept blowing. She sat beside me, so stone cold. He kept throwing. He was a great goal scorer at that time, so he must have scored like 5, 6 goals.
7 goals, actually.
Right. Yeah, I guess that was your good luck charm. But every time he scored a goal, he'd stop and blow me a kiss in the stands. And she's sitting there not looking too happy. And she's looking, and she wouldn't look at me. She wouldn't even talk, because he was like, oh, you're going to get along with her. So we're going to have so much fun together. I could tell she did not like me at all.
Yeah.
On the way home, I said, Vince, that girl's in love with you. No, what are you talking about? Anyway, she was gone shortly after. He had a talk with her, and she did confess that she had been crushing on him for a long time, and thought that there was that they would have gotten together.
Well, it's her own fault.
Yeah, well.
So to anyone listening out there,
Yeah.
if you feel something for someone, don't hesitate, because the worst case scenario, what's the worst thing they can say is no, and you move on.
Yeah.
But never stop from going ahead and going to introduce yourself to someone. Nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to shoot you. Just going to say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm taken. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But why go home and second guess yourself all the time?
No,
I think go to the bar and sit
Yeah.
there with a drink
Yeah.
and stare all night.
Yeah.
I would tell my friends, look, scan, you like somebody? Go meet them. They say no, go on to the next one.
I think that's very true. But I think in your case with her, I mean, if she had said that to you, I still don't think that would have changed your mind.
Yeah, no. If I did try to say no, I actually said, when he asked me for my number, before I gave it to him, I said, I'm really not interested. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he was like, huh? Like, no.
I said, you better go, otherwise I'll make a phone call, Mr. Soprano.
No. But no, he was determined. And you did tell me at the end of the night, when I was going off with my girlfriends to another establishment to eat, he said that, again, you turned to your friend Ed, who was at our wedding, by the way.
Yep.
And you said to him, that's going to be my wife.
Yep.
That is going to be
my friend goes, you're effing nuts. I said, no, you're not. I said, just watch.
Right. So, if we can give hope to, sorry, go ahead, Ariel.
I'm sorry. So you said you waited a little bit before having kids.
Yeah.
How
5
long
years.
did you?
5.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 years.
Well, we didn't know each other. We had to get to, we couldn't even call each other husband and wife.
No, you wanted to have fun together. No. I just didn't. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, it like, I swear to God, it did not roll off the tongue easily saying my husband. We kept giggling about it, and we kept acting like we were dating.
Yeah.
So I guess that courtship. I guess our courtship was actually after we got married.
Kind of, I guess.
By the way, we had an Elvis wedding.
Ooh, how fun.
Yeah.
At the church?
No, I'm talking about the reception.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I was done up to look like Priscilla, right? I mean, I have black hair, so, and I had the big poof, right? I had the black liner, right? So, I was done up to look like Priscilla, and I'll send you a picture of us, actually.
I'll be posting it. I'm going to post it on my Instagram for everybody. So we'll get it together.
And then at the reception, it was really funny. Well, we have a lot of U.S. relatives, especially him, and we lived in Philly for a period of time. I'm going to send it to her.
It's okay.
Okay. So his relatives all showed up from Philly. We had a big Italian wedding there.
Can you see it?
Oh, this is fabulous. Oh,
But
I
I'll
can't wait
send
to
you
show
the
them.
image. But
Yes.
nonetheless, so at the wedding, I'll never, okay, first of all, we orchestrated the wedding party to dance to Jailhouse Rock, right? And then Elvis, he came in third in Las Vegas championship of Elvis impersonators. He was in love with the idea of, oh my God, this is so romantic. Because Vince, get closer. Vince loves Elvis. His whole family does. So when he was announced.
Thank you very much.
But when he was announced, here's the funny part. My girlfriend got up and she said,
Oh my God.
in the middle of dinner, she goes, can I get everybody's attention? So someone who was in love with Louisa is here tonight. And when she refused, and she started dropping hints, when she refused his hand in marriage before Vince came along, everyone thought he had died and he moved to the deep south, right? She's dropping hints. And then CC Ryder started.
You should have seen some of the faces of my Italian relatives. They were like,
all his cousins were from Philly were like, who is this guy? What ex-boyfriend? But then they dropped, and then because Elvis always uses CC Ryder when he would come out for a show, it's his signature song, right?
Yep.
Then people started cluing in, but I think his cousins, especially the ones from Philly, were ready to rumble.
That's
right?
hysterical. That's hysterical.
Yeah, so he was introduced as an ex-boyfriend who broke his heart, and there were rumors that he had died and blah blah blah. And then he came out, and Vince was just like, "Oh my God."
That's hysterical.
Yeah, the attire for the wedding, I put on the invitation. People had to come dressed in 50s attire. We played 50s music, 60s music. It was like, because I took so long to get married, by the way, Ariel. Like Italian, I don't know about like Italians and other cultures expect you to be married at the age of 20, 21. Our parents were married at 18 and 19.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so they must have been like your grandparents by then. I mean, you're like, you guys, I mean, like you guys are grandparents by then, because like 30 is like ancient.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, my mom and dad, when I was 21, were like, okay, he doesn't have to be Italian. He can be European roots. And then when that didn't happen, it was like, anybody, just bring anybody home, right?
Yeah.
So, and then as I got to 29, then I had my uncles every Christmas saying, who the hell wants her? She's like past the good whatever, the when you expiration date, right? She's past her expiration. Who wants her? She's 29 going on 30. And so it just really played out so beautifully.
So I guess I saved her.
Yeah. But I mean, even our kids, anybody who's around us for at least 5 to 10 minutes can just tell that we are still as in love as the very first time he saw me. It's just amazing, because I've seen guys looking at him like, shut the hell up. My wife is going to give me shit tonight when we go home. Because most guys, do you ever get couples, or you watch couples and they act like ball and chain? Oh my God, right? Have you seen that? Oh, here's my wife calling me again. He does not make any pretense that he doesn't want to hear. When I call, my wife is calling. Like, there is no pretense of being some kind of heavy guy saying, yeah, the ball and chain wants me home for dinner. No, not at all. No.
I think that's what's so lovely about your relationship. It goes back to the respect each other. You want each other to just have fun, enjoy life. I respect what you're doing. You go, it's nice.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, I tell people all the time is, he goes, you guys have lasted 28 years. It's simple. I told her it from the beginning. Communication.
Yeah.
I'm not a mind reader. Something that you're pissed off about, you tell me and we talk about it. Not sweep it on the rugs, and then because I put the wrong cup in the wrong drawer, you blow a gasket.
Yeah.
And that's not the reason. It's something else underlying.
Yeah.
So I was always from the beginning. If you got something on your mind, just tell me what it is and let's move on. There's an issue, let's tackle it and move on.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problems with marriages today. People just don't want to get into those conversations.
You guys, I'm sorry. Can you hold on just a second?
Oh yeah.
Somebody's at my door. I'm so sorry.
Oh. Right. So the song we chose, there were 2 songs that we chose for our wedding. The first one is, of course, Elvis, Can't Help Falling in Love.
One of my favorites.
Oh yeah. So we danced. So we kicked off the,
open the dance
floor. And then the ending was Barry Manilow.
Can't Smile
Without You.
Wow, you got some good songs there.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget what's her name? Cole. Natalie Cole's father, what's her name?
Oh, L is for the way you look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's another, like, we just felt like songs are so meaningful too when you're falling in love. And in those 3 weeks, we crammed a lot of Barry Manilow and Elvis in there. Right?
You guys
Right?
are amazing. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you never know, Ariel. I mean, I had pretty well closed the door
Yeah.
to, well, I was dating 3 boys, but they weren't like serious. It was, yeah, I was dating a guy.
Oh, but that
I
was
had
just
to-
inside. That
No,
was
I had to let them after. No, I had to let them down as soon as, like, within 2 weeks, I knew he was the one, and it was not serious because I had come out of a very not nice relationship, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Let's just say that I probably would have ended up being an abused person. That's why I left, right? So
Yeah.
that would have put off anybody, right? Knowing that
Of
you're going
course.
into a marriage and potentially becoming an abused, housewife. So for me, what is that? Oh,
I'm trying to be abusive. You know, this is the way I get abusive.
Aw.
So anyway, no. After having gone through that,
This is PG rated.
Right.
No.
I
and
know, I think I'm gonna have to put this on as like explicit on
After 11 p.m.
after ending a relationship and swearing off men, and guys did ask me out, and I'd be like, okay, fine, if you want to take me out for dinner, that's fine, you can pay for dinner, I don't care.
Yeah.
But my heart wasn't into it, right? Until he came along, and then I had to let those 3 guys down real quick because I was like, I'm getting married. They're like, what? What?
They were probably like, who was the 4th guy? Like, come
yeah,
on.
like, what happened here? And it was just the funniest thing because so many people that we told. Again, I have to tell you though, his family, who his ex-girlfriend grew up with them,
Mhm.
never ever made me feel anything but warm and welcomed.
Wow.
And of course now he still is friends with his ex, right? They maintain their friendship, and his sister and his brother are like, that is so weird. Right?
What's
Yeah.
wrong? What's so weird about that?
And again, and his sister always says, you guys have like such a weird, beautiful but weird relationship that you never get mad at each other. Well, we do, I mean, we get mad, but you never have any jealousy, because he would be, even when I had the kids and he'd go, I'm gonna go see, I'm gonna go just have a coffee with her, hey, say hi,
Yeah.
even the kids the other day said, Dad, you got a picture of her daughter on your phone? Like, because she did get married and whatever, but no, I've never felt any jealousy because he's never made me feel like,
If I have to be jealous, I ain't getting married.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
one of the big issues today. Too
Yeah.
much jealousy between
yeah.
husband and wife.
And stepping out.
And stepping out. And what does that lead to? That means you're not really not trustworthy.
Yeah.
You don't trust your significant other.
Yeah.
And there's issues right off the bat. So why get married? No.
Well, we've had a lot of friends that have gone through divorce. I mean, like I said, he was going out with the guys. Quite a few of the guys we know, got divorced because they were stepping out.
Mm.
Yeah. We tried to tell them that's not really a good way to maintain a marriage, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I would check out of the marriage and then go on and do whatever you want to do.
But
Yeah.
our house was always open to everybody. We had a number of guys crash here.
Wow.
Number of guys crash here. He's good friends with my first boyfriend. Loves him. Loves
Oh my
him.
gosh. Yeah, I would say you
we
guys
hang
really are
out.
like best friends and encourage and support each other
Absolutely.
instead of, yeah.
I got to tell you that from the minute we got together as a couple, I think that there's just 1000% trust in each other.
Yeah.
Particularly when it comes to going off and doing extra marital.
Like they say, the grass is not greener on the other side.
Right.
On the other side, it's just a bunch of headaches.
But I mean, even, the dealership, it's a very male dominated industry, right? So sometimes he would tell me, he'd come home and he'd say, the guys want me to go to a strip joint with them. He said, why? He would tell them, well, I have filet mignon at home. Why the heck would I want to go with you guys?
Yeah.
To a place like that? I'm going home to my wife.
Wow. Yeah.
And yeah, it just never crossed his mind.
Well, I never liked strip joints anyway.
Yeah,
Some girl coming up to me and being all fake. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
hi. Why? Because you want my money?
Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because you've seen what Vince looks like. He can look quite intimidating. I have been, especially if we go somewhere for the first time, of a house party, people that we know. You get invited to certain parties or whatever, and he walks in. And he can look pretty intimidating. He looks like an Italian tough guy. Now he's lost all his hair. He's got the goatee and all that stuff going on.
Yeah.
He looks pretty mean.
I don't look mean.
Well,
I look
no,
handsome. Mean.
But he'll walk in and everybody say, "Whoa!" Right? Until he starts talking and the way he interacts with me.
Yeah.
And usually, Ariel, I swear to God, he's got a circle of women all around him.
I can
They
imagine.
love him. He is so in touch. I have to say this. He's so in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Right? And he'll cry. I have seen him in a room watching a movie with guys. Okay, we have our guy friends over, and it's some soppy, rom-com, whatever. And there's a sad part. He'll start crying.
Yeah.
And then the guys are like, "Oh, Vince, oh my God." He's like, "Shut the hell up. It's a sad movie. I'm gonna freaking cry." Right?
I like it. You own it. You own it, Vince. Whatever you do, you own it.
He will tell them it's sad. I'm gonna effing cry.
I remember one time prior to meeting her, I went on a date. And we went to go watch the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze. The famous scene. So I'm sitting in the theater and she goes, "It's okay, let her out." I'm like, I can't hold back anymore.
Wait, back it up for just a second. Wait, you went on a date after you met Luisa?
No, before
he met me.
Oh, okay.
And this girl goes, "Oh, let's go watch a movie, Ghost." Okay, now obviously it was a great movie.
Yeah.
And you get all the scene and I'm just like freaking out in the movie. It's harder to keep the crying inside, not to cry, but to let it out. So I said, "Screw it, I'm not holding it in." You're like, "Oh."
So he doesn't. As a matter of fact, the kids will always come to me when like Little House on the Prairie's on, or
I always tell my kids and people too,
yeah.
what the hell are you crying for? I said, the best way to watch a movie is put yourself in the character.
Yeah.
So you feel what they're feeling. So if I'm going through something and I lost my wife on the screen, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
That's why I feel the emotion. That's the best way to watch a movie.
Right.
Try that yourself next time.
Well, most girls do. Yeah. I was gonna say.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think it's the best way.
But that's what I mean by he's in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah.
Right? For all the bravado, for all the machoism that he exudes and the way he looks, my mother calls him a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and my sisters quickly assessed, I didn't even finish what I was saying earlier, that when he started coming around the house, they were like, "Man, this guy's like like he's just head over heels in love with you." Like, and they adored him. They really did. Like, they just said, "Oh my God, he's the best." And my sisters still love him to this day. You've got a really unique, he's got a really unique relationship with them. Like, you know what I mean? He just fit right in. You know?
So
I knew. Yeah. Somebody up there said, "She's waiting for you over there."
And it all started one night, 29 years ago?
February 15, 1992.
When
I walked in at 11:15.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he walked in late. It was 11:15. So you can understand why. Last call was at around like 1:45 or something like that.
Yeah.
So he didn't come at me till, and so you can understand why nobody in my circle of friends knew I was even talking to somebody.
So Vince, what was it that you saw about Luisa at night that you did, like interacting with her friends, or what was it?
That was important. Because anybody, if you have a conversation, anybody can be faking a conversation. But when you're looking at someone from a distance, they act themselves. So I wanted to see the way she carried herself, the way she picked up her purse, the way she would like just move her feet around when she's standing still. Does she have her foot out of her shoe? The way her mannerism was, all that stuff. Yes, I have a foot fetish, so I had to make sure she had nice feet, which she has the best feet. She had the right ankles, and of course the way she walked, the way she carried herself. Because you can always go out and meet somebody pretty. That's the easy part. But finding someone that you go, "Oh, I like the way she moves. I can see myself with her." No. And someone just kept telling me, "Go, just go. What are you waiting for?" And I just went over and And it all happened, and you heard the story. She said, "No." I said, "Give me
Yeah.
the real number." Bada bing, bada boom. East Side Marriott. Here we are, 28 years later. Bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah, there's been ups and downs, but like he said, we always try to communicate.
In those
Communication.
down times. Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, every relationship is gonna go through tough times. Oh,
it's not been all roses. I mean, come on, 28, 28 years of marriage, 29 together.
you see why I have no hair? You have hair. You've got hair. I don't have any.
But the constant thing has always been that we have never denied ourselves.
No,
And
we
he
always
has
say,
never,
if we're gonna take this
Yeah.
path together, ups and downs,
Yeah.
she's the only one I want to go with down
Yeah.
this path.
Yeah.
And may the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah.
Not because chips start falling, you start bailing, which what most
Yeah.
people do today.
Yeah.
Right? They go, okay, screw this. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try something else. I'm gonna
Yeah.
divorce.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go meet somebody else. It's the same crap, just a different person. Find the person you want to be with, and find a way to communicate with one another and work things out, because the grass is not greener on the other side. It may be if you meet somebody new at the beginning for those few months, but then once you get into your day-to-day routine, it's the same crap.
Yeah.
So, I want to just, spend all that crap time with her instead of somebody else.
Well, his favorite thing to do, I mean, I have a very active social life, more than him,
Yep.
actually. I'm always out and about. I'm out with girlfriends. I'm out at an event. I always ask him, do you want to come? He's like, no, just come home to me, baby. Just remember you have a
I
husband.
really don't like going because all the women flock around me all the time. It's just, that's funny. It's true, but it's true. And you know what they talk to me about? How unhappy they are in the relationships.
Mm.
As soon
Yeah.
as they
Yeah,
mention
unhappy.
unhappy, as soon
Yeah.
as they mention 2 or 3 things, I know right away.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we deal with a circle, a lot of wealthy people, and
Yeah.
it's okay. Your husband's not with you. Okay, no.
Well, yeah, yeah. We've had a
It's
few
hard.
friends that have split up, but he saw it coming. He doesn't break the man code. He doesn't. There's a man code,
Yeah.
But he would say to me, I don't like hanging out with him.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
I'm a very good
Right.
judge of character.
Yeah,
can
and
tell
I
you
would
what
say,
it is.
why? What's wrong with him? I just don't like him. I don't want to come. You go to the dinner party without me, right?
I would say you're a pretty good judge of character right off the bat with Luisa. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're still standing, and a lot of others,
We're still standing.
But yeah, it's been a whirlwind, and you know what, honey? I swear to God, it still feels like we're dating.
Yeah. So
Oh, by the way, we went to Europe on our vacation for 3 weeks to travel Europe.
Yeah, it was nice.
Went to Germany, Milan,
Yeah.
Paris, Rome, all over.
you guys
Sammy
really
Cotton,
hang out. Yeah.
church steeples for till
Well,
them all.
actually, that's another story
Oh
for
my
another time. But
I'm a
almost,
typical guy. I want to go on the beach,
Yeah.
and she takes me all over Europe.
yeah, we almost divorced over the honeymoon because he wanted to go to Hawaii and lie on a beach, and I convinced him to go hiking.
Through
Oh,
Europe.
that's totally different.
So,
We were in Florence. We climbed the steeple, 480 steps.
yeah.
I get it I'm just sweating buckets. She goes, "What do you think?" Okay, it's a beautiful view. Let's go. I come, I don't get to look at the view.
And he smoked at the time, and he's up at the top
Oh my God.
of the Duomo with a cigarette.
They
and
don't have elevators in churches in old Rome or Venice or Florence.
Oh, it was so funny.
But you
so-
know what? Looking
yeah.
back, it was the best trip we ever had.
Well, yeah, we certainly fought a lot because he'd be like, I'm obsessed with castles. So in
Mm.
Germany, all the
Oh.
castles are on top of big, because of the
course.
moats.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to climb every mountain where the castle was at the top. I can't tell you how many times he would throw his knapsack down midway up the hike and say, I'm out.
I'm out.
Go check your castle by yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
I
But
think it's a great way for you guys to learn, obviously to deal with each other and learn different
yeah.
parts of, not deal, I shouldn't say deal with each other, but learn different parts of each
I mean, there
other.
were times we were in Europe. She goes, "I'm going out." Okay, go ahead and go enjoy yourself. I'm beat.
yeah.
I walked like 14 miles, climbed down these stairs. Go knock yourself
And
out.
Ariel, again, listen to this. I'm on a honeymoon, no cell phones at the time.
Yeah.
And he's trusting me to go out on my merry way by myself in the middle of a foreign city where I would hook up with other tourist people and hang out and party. And he would just say, he's always said, I don't care what you do, just come home to me, babe.
Yeah.
And that has played out. again, with the social life that I have in the city we live in,
Yeah.
there were weeks where I'm not home very often. Now, COVID kind of changed that a little bit. Now we've been together but
Yeah, get out.
he's always said to me, every so often when like for 2 weeks that went by and I wasn't home, he'd say, babe, you have a husband? How about staying home one night? And that'll be like, oh, right. Okay. So he's always given me the freedom
Yeah.
to do me. He has never told me to change. I don't think I've tried to change him. But he has
I think
never,
every girl tries to do that, right?
yeah, he has never
That's
ever.
right. Try.
You
Try.
know what? Yeah, you have never asked me to change one thing about myself.
Nope.